party returns to Blethyn along with Angol's head and this newly found information. The leather-bound book along with the tome is handed over to the High Clerics for research. It is discovered that when all 8 books are bound together, it becomes a magical spell book of scrolls, and has the ability to destroy Cthulhu when a religious ceremony is conducted. The leather-bound book tells who guards the tomes, but no clear information as to the locations. The prisons that the book refers to where Cthulhu remains imprisoned is in the deeps of the sea. He wants the power to lead the waters and to rule the lands, but doesn't have that ability yet. When he does, he will take over the earth and rule the Shadow Realm. As more research is done by the High Clerics, some of the locations are found. King Bastien can't ask more from Ty and Ariel. They completed their quest and have their riches, but they know what's at stake. If Cthulhu escapes the watery prisons, the Shadow Realm will burn to ashes, and all will be lost as they know it. Ty and Ariel offered their services again to King Bastien, and he gladly accepts their offer. 2 more members of the party have been added to the group. A senior cleric of the temple, named Caldex, and a sorcerer, who goes by the name of Nain Nosnem. His knowledge along with his spell-casting abilities will give the group a fighting chance at defeating their enemies. Having to travel all 4 corners of the Shadow Realm will be a long and hard journey. So King Bastien gives the party his best ship he has to offer, along with the most sea-hardened crew. They set sail on a quest where only hope lies in the balance. Days become weeks, then months, and in turn, grow to be years later. What seems to be an endless search throughout the 4 corners of the continent, finding and defeating the guardians of the dreaded tomes one by one. Occasionally returning to the city-state to hand over the articles to the temple. In all, 5 of the 8 books have been retrieved to this point. It is discovered that Cthulhu is now gaining power again after his last setback, and somehow interfering with communications between the God Laird and the Temple Vale, in turn preventing crucial information being received to the High Clerics from their god. Several rumors begin to swirl. A paladin from the Temple Vale captured by Cthulhu to be sacrificed. Demons being bred deep inside the ancient mountains, and sorcerers from the Badabaska region groomed to ride dragons. Months later, when the group returns to Blethyn after another successful journey, dark storm clouds circle the capital as they arrive to the port. Panic fills the streets with fear and uncertainty among the commoners. When the adventurers arrive at the port, they rush to King Bastien. He advises the group to take the tomes collected along with 200 commoners, and to set sail south of the kingdom to the Dragon Skull Mountains, and go into hiding and search for an oracle who will help guide them, and rebuild a new colony.
More hatred.
Tornadoes form into violently rotating columns of air, extending from a thunderstorm as demons and gargoyles fall from the darkened sky into the capital, slaughtering at will to everyone that crosses their path. Blethyn is now doomed. The party manages to escape and set sail to the south, and land on the Dragon Skull Mountains to go into hiding. They travel inwards to the valley, surrounded by snow-capped mountains, and begin constructing a small keep for protection. Caldex, Tai and Nay Nosneb decide to search for the oracle, which is said to be in the area, while Ariel stays behind with the commoners and help with construction. Winter is coming, and they will need protection from the harsh, cold environment. After long days of trekking through the tough wilderness, the oracle is finally found. Thousands of years old, able to change form at will. A divine agent who calls no singular god, oath, or cause of their own. The party asks for her guidance in hopes that she can lead them to the right direction. She replies to them using telepathy.
You have been on a long journey, and your quest hangs by a thread. Your time is short. The Blethin kingdom is now in ruin. Your ruler and king still lives, but is now a prisoner held captive in the city-state. Lady Nijo, who protects one of the articles, summoning demons deep inside the ancient mountains, ready to unleash fire upon this land. A champion paladin of Blethin captured and held in the Batabaska prisons, as well as many sorcerers from another dimension preparing to enter the Shadow Realm. I cannot tell you which path to take. You must choose which direction to go. Choose incorrectly, and your quest will fail.
The oracle then disappears into the night. The party now at a crossroads, realizing they and they alone have to make a crucial decision. The three travel back to the keep and discuss where to go next. Go back to the city-state and rescue their king. Find Lady Nijo and defeat her? Go into Batabaska and rescue a paladin held prisoner? Or find an entryway into another dimension and defeat sorcerers? After long discussions and careful consideration, the quest group decide to go back to the city-state and rescue their king. Things are now going from bad to worst. Caldex has lost all efforts to communicate with their god. Tai's paladin ability seems to be diminishing. Tai, Caldex, and Nay Nosneb will travel back to the sacked capital, while Ariel will stay with the people at the keep. She is not convinced this is the right path to take, and would be a suicide mission. She will not take that road to certain death. Caldex is adamant that they must rescue King Bastion first, and then decide what road to take next. Nay Nosneb will hold on to the books, placed in a magical figurine that secretly holds all treasure and valuables collected to this point. They then sail back to the kingdom and teleport back into the city-state when the spell is within reach. Confident their plan will work, Nay Nosneb will transport them into a secret location inside the city walls and fight their way into locating King Bastion. Rescue him, teleport back to the ship, and sail back to the keep. The party sets sail again and travels north on the Sea of Tears for many days, stopping short, south of the Blethin kingdom. Nay Nosneb then casts a teleport spell transporting the group into the city-state, fighting their way to find their imprisoned king. They've underestimated the enemy and are now cornered inside the city walls. This is a fight they cannot win, and realize they have to abandon the rescue. They are then transported back to the ship and sail back south to regroup. Back at the keep, Ariel is informed that one of the commoners has gone missing, along with all of his belongings. A spy perhaps? Likely. The enemy had set a trap, and were waiting for them. She had no way of informing the party that they were headed for disaster. All she can do now is hope the party returns. During the travel back, the ship is attacked by 3 sorcerers mounted on dragons, along with gargoyles swarming the deck. Dragons breathing fire, torching the ill-fated ship as the heroes fight valiantly to save themselves. Nay Nosnev is picked up by several gargoyles and flown out of sight into the dark skies from the ship. Time, wielding his weapon, cutting down the enemy, while Caldex casts spells and swings his staff to keep gargoyles at bay. This appears to be the end. As hope seems to be lost, Caldex realizes he will not survive this attack, and breaks his staff in 2, creating a massive explosion and taking down his enemies. Tai is now on the verge of death, and dives into the murky waters as the gargoyles swarm the surface looking for him. He sinks to the bottom of the sea and activates his necklace of adaptation, so he can breathe underwater. Making his way to shore, he crawls his way onto a sandy beach. He is badly injured and spent. Looking out to the sea, he sees what is left of the burning ship as the flames slowly flicker away to nothing. The quest has failed. The books that were recovered are now back in the hands of Cthulhu, and the Shadow Realm appears to be lost.